I am Regan Flowers, and I lead an organization called CSTEM. And STEM education is very important to us. We started in 2002. We're the first pre-K through 12th grade integrated STEM program in the nation. It was a part of my research that emerged from my classroom teaching experiences. So to see Gladys earlier with her passion reminded me so much of myself when I was in the classroom and I started with robotics. That's what fueled this passion behind CSTEM, and what has emerged are a lot of my experiences, not just from being a classroom teacher, having worked as a guidance counselor, a dean of students, as well as a school improvement facilitator. I've had the privilege of experiencing the full cycle of school and to understand what teachers need, what children need to particularly perform in this space of STEM. So when we look at the questions that we were to focus on today, and one of them was, does Houston understand the need of STEM and the needs in STEM? And yes, Houston gets it. Houston definitely understands that need, and the nation understands the need. STEM has become a household name, which is exciting. Everyone's doing something in STEM now. I've seen in the classrooms that can teach and perform and that are specialists in these specific content areas of STEM to lead our children. But we also know that our schools, all of our schools aren't very fortunate to have such a case. So we have to work with the teachers that we have. And so that means we go to war with the team we have, not with the type of persons on the team that we wish we had. And we have to work with them. And so with CSTEM, we develop teachers' content knowledge. We support their development throughout the process of implementation, and we give them an opportunity to engage with their children to apply the content and to actually carve in an accountability piece to make certain that teachers are able to perform and are proficient, and we are able to help administrators in their building on that curriculum side by working with those teachers. This program with CSTEM, it takes place over 6 to 8 months within schools, and it takes that long to really carve out a real impact and a sustainable impact, and it is done through teachers. We could not get this work done without the teachers on the ground. They're the boots on the ground getting this work done. And so when we look at are the major stakeholders, which are your corporations, your professional organizations, your politicos, the school systems, everyone has to partner. Everyone has to be in collaboration. Everyone has to align their goals and objectives. So one of the things that we're seeing as a challenge is that there are lots of STEM programs, lots of STEM activities out here, but the alignment of goals and objectives is not there. So there are lots of one-offs, there are lots of great things that we see happening, but a lot of it is not sustainable. We're not seeing the impact and reaching the goals that we like to see in a sustainable way. And we heard earlier what Joni Bird spoke a lot about, can't help every classroom. They're looking at programs that are scalable and that are sustainable, and that's key. And technology is definitely a source and a tool that we're able to do that, and definitely something that we have found to be successful with CSTEM, in that we are operating our programs in 4 states and 2 other countries, and we could not do that without the support of technology and without teacher leadership to maintain the programs on their campuses and to implement those programs and to sustain them and create the culture that is needed. So data you've gotten at, information you've gotten at from all the panelists, but the real work, it's happening on the ground. and that's where we are with CSTEM, and that's where we've been able to add value, because we are working with the corporations, we're working with the organizations, we're working with the school systems, and we see exactly what's working and what's not working, but we're able to provide the support that teachers need to get the work done. And so that's what's critical when we look at what is it going to take to make the difference, to make Houston this STEM epicenter in the world. It's going to take that type of collaboration and that type of partnership. And so I don't want to be so redundant, but I want to answer questions, or I want to talk with you more on what are you seeing or experiencing, or what are you needing from the corporations and partnerships and organizations like a CSTEM to help you do a better job, to have a greater impact in your classrooms with your students, and with building stronger partnerships and leveraging relationships to have greater impact. Yes.
You mentioned that with CSTEM, the support for the teachers that are on the ground floor is about 6 to 8 months for them to get the essential training that they need. Can you kind of paint a picture of what that structure looks like?
Yes, so the way our model works, CSTEM is fully integrated. We touch the English, science, social studies, technology, art, all of the core content area courses. We ask for schools to identify at least 6 teachers. Those teachers are trained on the curriculum. The curriculum changes every year. Teachers don't have the time to get skilled on what's relevant. What is Shell looking for? That's my job. I work with Shell. Mike Alvarez tells me we need geoscientists. We create a curriculum around that. We train the teachers on it. We give them the tools and resources to implement, and we give them supporting workshops throughout, because we're not going to run the risk of them not implementing the content or the information that they've been trained on, and then we bring them in the end to compete amongst each other, their peers, with their projects that they have created. And they're normally 7 projects. They cannot choose which ones. They have to compete in all. And we do this pre-K through 12th grade because we believe in building a pipeline. We found in our research when we started at the high school level, of course, it was too late. We went to middle school, it was too late. And of course, we went to elementary. And I tell people now we're going to get into neonatal STEM work because we just can't seem to start early enough. But with this process, also, it allows you to create tracks and pathways for children and for teachers to collaborate and work across lines, because a lot of that school districts and systems don't afford that opportunity, but through a joint project, they're able to work across lines, and students are able to create pathways. If they like this type of learning, they know what schools to go to. They have relationships already formed when they transition from elementary, middle to high school. So it's a pretty comprehensive model. Yes.
Can you talk about this afternoon's challenge and your contribution to that?
Yes, so I am very fortunate to partner with Harmony Public Schools and all the great funders of the STEM Education Week. We are doing a STEM activity in Hall A, if you have time today to come, between 2 and 6 o'clock, where the kids are working on a project which is called a Human and Robotics Collaboration Challenge. So these children will be given a problem when they show up in the room today to create a robotic hand and to solve an issue dealing with the removal of algae from the Gulf Coast, and to take it to a biofuel platform where they're going to create a biodiesel fuel to solve a problem in their community in terms of an energy shortage. So that's the challenge we've created for them. And so it's hands-on, it's project-based. There's 3-dimensional geometry that's a part of that, with a molecule that they have to create that's a part of this biofuel injection deal. But it's very exciting. And so there will be, I believe, about 560 students engaged in this process. And it's exciting work. And they'll also be creating lessons from their activities using iPads with an education application on there. So they're going to have a very intense, focused time of STEM engagement later this afternoon.
Regan, If I could just interject, so after the business education leadership discussion, we're going to encourage a group tour down to the STEM Challenge so everyone
Awesome.
can have a chance to see.
Awesome. CSTEM is open to any school, any parent, any church, any organization that wants to do this work with their children. It's just simply reaching out to us. And my email address is very easy. It's rflowers@cstem.org. And, or you can just go to our website, cstem.org. It's communication, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is what it stands for. As I was listening earlier, to one of the presentations, the emphasis on literacy. If children are not strong readers and writers, they're not going to do well in math and science. So communication is very key with us. Also listening to BASF, and they talk about the communication skills. It is a major issue. And so with CSTEM and our work, communication is just as important as the STEM piece. Yes, sir. Oh, go ahead.
Your training, you said you mentioned training for teachers. What is the plan, or what is the calendar or agenda for that? Summertime or?
No, we do not do any training during the summer. We started the academic year, so we do training. It's normally around September or January at the start of the fall or the spring semester. It is 5 days. We are very flexible with our program. We know in order to work successfully with our schools, you've got to be flexible. You can't be rigid with teachers and schools. Every school has a different set of circumstances or situations. So training is after school. It can be on Saturdays. It's virtual. You can be at home with your dog at your lap doing the training, and the support the same. And we also encourage the students to participate as well in the trainings.
Time for one more question, if it's a quick one.
Yes. 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 The training has been online for about 5 years now. When we started expanding outside the state, it just became cost prohibitive to put that financial burden on schools to have teachers traveling to training. So we started giving the support and the training online, and it has worked out very successfully. We've even created a social network to support this as well.
All right, we need to bring it to a close. If we could give the panelists a big round of applause.